And as far as you guys are concerned, hi, hello. I can actually bring my mic up close to me and you can hear the deepness of my voice. Hi, guys. Oh my God. What is happening? What the poop, guys? What the poop? What was that? Listen, okay, we got so much to unpack here. We started off super cute. I was super giddy. Ink and Pa were the best. See, that's the part I usually cut out, right? Those little moments right there. It was adorable. I've been saying it since the first time we've seen Ink, I think, that those two are adorable together and I want them together. And they ended up together. We saw it. It was a cheek kiss, it was a handhold, and it was in a red room. Well, okay, not that kind of red room. We're not in the dark web. And then we went to like super serious. Pan was like assaulted twice now. What the poop? He got slapped by his mom. He got pushed by Pat's dad. Like, what is happening? Can everybody stop assaulting this man? At least they have each other. I mean, that's true, but man. Listen, at the end of the day, like, was Pat's father a douchebag? Definitely. My camera's focusing on my mic now. Never mind. Ultra super D-bag of the year. We're actually like, I don't know, how old are they? Like 19 years. Goes to Pat's dad. That being said, mom assaulted her son by slapping him. And listen, parents. Listen, parents. Do not try to live through your children. Do not try to put your own baggage on them. Okay? Mommy Karen definitely had the right to be angry and upset, but the way she went about it was childish. I mean, he did destroy her future, sure, but I feel like she's doing okay, because look at their house. That being said, at that time, there was no guarantee of any of that, of course. Ink past supremacy, 100%. Yep. If my mom slapped me, I would have left her home. Oh, I would have been gone. Don't slap me. Don't touch me. One, I don't like being touched. Don't slap me, for sure. Just because you're in pain from other people doesn't mean you should put everything like that's 100%. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like she's like, I've seen it so many times, even in, therapy, I've seen it. I've worked with kids. I don't like working with kids, but I have had to be trained working with kids, and you see it a lot. And it's difficult for children because they don't know what's going on. All they know is what their parents are doing. And is there a bit of brainwashing in that? Yeah, there is. Of course there is. It's just not okay. Like it's not an appropriate thing to do. These are things that children are very susceptible to things. Their brains are what we call very plastic. They are able to absorb a lot of information, to include your insecurities. Like language learning is really done well and the best in those, formative years for a reason. And the behavioral patterns that you enforce during those times will stick around for so long afterwards. And then they come to a person like me trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And I'm like, well, guess we're going back. We're going back quite a ways. Pat's dad passing the pressure that he got from his own father to Pat while he stole Pran's mom's scholarship. What a dad. I know, right? Like it's like seriously. The way I won't charge my phone until it's 6. Why 16%? That is very specific. Seth Rogen. What? The way didn't apologize to Pat and Pran. I mean, yeah, 100%. That's a good point. You bring up a fantastic point. They still didn't. I mean, he kind of he's clearly okay with everything now, but I don't think I would have let it slide so easily. I don't know. I say that, but when I was that age, I probably would have. I'd have been like, yeah, that's so fine. No, but 100%, he needs to, there should have been more. I mean, ultimately there won't, because everything has moved on, right? He's never going to be, I don't think it's ever going to happen at this point. Pran's mom chose the most toxic way to try to protect her son from experiencing the same. I mean, but that's not to guarantee, there was no guarantee that would ever happen. You're definitely right in that it's toxic, and she may have been trying to protect her son, but they're two different people, right? Like Pat and his dad are two different people. And I get it, but it's toxic. Toxic is toxic, period. And then you slap your son, get out of here. I got no time for that. Let me see that. Let me see that sometime. You can see how tired Pran I mean, seriously, he deserves a break. This man, like I said, they need to come to me. I'll talk with him. Let's get a new bestie. He can still prove that he's a good friend now, but there's still one thing inherently missing, and not accepting what you did, not talking about it, and not apologizing for it. Someone point out the lack of homophobia. Maybe that's why Wei apologized. I mean, still, there's still something to be said about an actual apology. I think we have become so used to not doing things in like face to face to include apologizing that it's just like there's still something very healing from an actual face to face apology. It might not be that groundbreaking, but I love how we hated Prawn's mom a lot and thought Pat's dad had a chance for thanking Prawn. Then realized that that's a great point. That is a fantastic point. Shouldn't have trained Prawn to hate, and Pat's dad was just being guilty for this. I mean, yeah, 100%. Yep. Oh, by the way, actually slapping in Asian parents is kind of normal usually when their son, daughter are disrespectful to their parents. I think Prawn's mom is being shocked and angry. You can see the regret in her face. Maybe it is normal, but you could see it in her face that it wasn't okay and she knew that she was wrong. How about that nice little trap that Prawn set up? Do you guys say Prawn or Pran? I feel like I want to say Pran because of where I grew up, and then I end up saying Prawn just to overcorrect. The parents' plot twists, it's like the plot. I kind of had a feeling that it was like a lovers kind of deal, and it kind of was, right? Like it kind of was. His friend of Corn was horrible friend. They ended up the total opposite later on. Yeah, for real. I want those two to end, like I'm shipping them hard right now too. I mean, I have been for a little bit, but Corn, after that picture came out, if you're on my Twitter, you know a picture what I'm talking about. That picture, when that picture came out, ooh, I'm like, you are no longer Ponytail. Does anybody read manga? I feel like no. So what do you guys think about episode 11 then? I mean, clearly they're off on their own, but is it going to spark like this manhunt? Like, are the parents going to be so upset and try to find them? I mean, they definitely do. They definitely need their own time. They need to reconnect a little bit. Although I'm gonna be real, like some of the strongest relationships go through those trials, right? And they definitely went through a trial right there. And coming together as they did is going to take them out of that honeymoon phase into this like strong, I don't think, is there a name for it? Like the non-honeymoon phase, the pre-engagement phase. I don't know. Pat tried to be strong for Prawn in the rooftop scene, but Pat is feeling a lot of guilt. Yeah, I mean, but he needs to process it too, right? Like he did the right thing in letting Prawn just be his, like settle into his emotions. Like he did the right thing in letting him in feeling his emotions. That guy went through so much in such a short span of time. He needed to do something. Like he needed that cry. And I'm glad that even though Pat is going through his own thing, he's still noticing that his partner needed that time and allowed him that time, even though he's feeling his own thing, right? I can suspend my disbelief when you think that in their universe, Pat Prawn forgave him, and since the sin is against Pat Prawn, then we can bury the issue. It's just uncomfortable for the show didn't take the chance to call that out. Yeah, I think that it is a little bit of an oversight. I don't think that it's like a killer oversight necessarily. I would have really liked to have seen it in there though, just because I think that it's a lesson for others. I seem to want to make homophobia the issue. Yeah, I can definitely appreciate that. I could definitely appreciate that. Just glad they didn't break them up for the drama the most. Yeah, I agree. I do like that. Instead of breaking them up, because listen, that's so overplayed. It's so overplayed. And now they're actually showing, I think thus far we've seen a very healthy, once they've gotten into the relationship, we've seen a very healthy relationship. And I think that they're keeping that going, which is really cool. And so instead of breaking them up, they kept that healthy relationship aspect going, which is, I love it. That's how healthy their relationship is. We all know their communication is very important. Yeah, and that's so nice to see. Like, it's so different to see, and I love it. This is why their relationship is so healthy. They know how to take care of each other. Pat knows Prawn has more weight of emotions than he has him. I mean, but it's also, yes, 100%, and I'm so glad he did that. But he also has to learn the lesson, because the problem with the parents is that they never addressed any of it, right? Like, if they just had this conversation years ago, they could have at least started to heal by this time. But instead it just, made them even more bitter towards each other. Everybody's releasing a song. Should I release a song? No. Nobody wants that. We want that. Wait, what do you want? What do you want? My full album? Listen, I am not a professional singer in any kind of way. As you can hear my voice cracking from talking way too much for the last, 2 hours now? The parents put lies between lies, like they implant their kids and hate their neighbors just because of their business. They are cheaters. Such child. It's 100% childish. It's 100% childish. The pain of episode 5 rooftop scene and Prawn leaving after the kiss versus the hug and him hanging onto Pat so hard. I mean, yeah, so much. So much. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. We'll continue on next week. Thank you guys so much. Do take care. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.